A couple weeks back, I made a video talking about what the most important feature about XRP really was. And it was a feature that not a lot of people ever talk about or ever give enough appreciation. On this video, we're going to dedicate an entire video to talking about this exact thing, because in my opinion, this is the real differentiator behind XRP that makes it different than every other cryptocurrency out there. Like always, you support me so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who takes the time to like these videos and subscribe to the channel. These two simple things really do help me out so much. With that said, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. I want to jump right into the video and cover something real quick. Earlier today, the Federal Reserve did decide to cut rates about 25 basis points. I really didn't talk about this much because, in my opinion, everyone knew it was going to happen. No one thought they weren't cutting. No one thought they were cutting 50. It was a 25 basis point cut. We're heading in the right direction for faster liquidity. We're heading in the right direction for lower interest rates. That should cause asset appreciation. It's all going in the right direction. It's going slowly. It is what it is. We're continuing to move into a better environment for cryptocurrencies, for growth assets as interest rates come down. And that's the path we will continue to be on until something crazy happens where the Federal Reserve is forced to cut faster. They're not going to. They're just going to keep slowly cutting by 25 basis points meeting after meeting. So that's where we are right now. Not anything overly unexpected, and we'll see what happens at the next meeting. But until anything really picks up, the Federal Reserve is just slowly going to be easing and making it better for growth assets and better for cryptocurrencies. I don't want to spend too much time in this video on that because there's a couple other things that I want to spend a lot more time on. Now, one of the things that a lot of people know that isn't the most critical thing about XRP, but is a very important one, is XRP's institutional presence. Now, we're going to talk about the real critical thing towards the back end of the video, but XRP's institutional presence is something huge. Earlier today, Digital Asset Research Group actually came out with a brand new paper talking about Ripple and XRP. And I wanted to read this to you real quick because it's really good. It shows how institutions are looking at XRP and highlights one of the key differentiators about XRP. Now, I don't think this is actually the most important thing, to be honest with you, but it's really important. What XRP and Ripple are one of the only cryptocurrency projects focused on institutional use cases. And this is exactly what the Digital Asset Research Support Group came away with. They said their research shows that XRP and Ripple are no longer competing in crypto. They are evolving into a global payment infrastructure, the kind used by banks, fintechs, and cross-border networks that demand speed, scale, and settlement certainty. The report highlights three core realities. One, XRP has the structural advantage of fast settlement, low cost, neutral bridge asset, globally distributed, and institutional grade reliability. This is why adoption is rising among enterprises. They're not only looking for speculation, they're looking for real world use cases. Stablecoins are becoming strategic, not competitive. Instead of fighting stablecoins, Ripple is integrating them. RLUSD becomes the fiat anchor while XRP serves as liquidity and the bridge asset that connects everything. This is something I've been highlighting on the channel for a while. No one's been talking about. They nail it. RLUSD for payments, XRP for liquidity. Trust me, liquidity is a much better use case than payments in the grand scheme of things. This pairing is exactly how scaled settlement ecosystems form. The catalysts are already forming. RippleNet partnerships expanding, RLUSD corridors opening, institutional custody maturing, ETF structuring entering the conversation. Each of these increases the probability that XRP becomes embedded in the regulated financial plumbing. The only area still to catch up is on the direct on-chain usage, but the presence of Ripple Prime, RLUSD, and ZK rollups should unlock the actual on-chain economy that Ripple's been trying to unlock for a long time. Personally, I also think regulations allowing financial institutions to actually interact on-chain is probably a big thing that is actually going to make an even bigger difference. Digital Asset Research Group is essentially saying the quiet part out loud. XRP is positioning itself as infrastructure, not just a speculative trade. The competition is not with other tokens. The competition is the existing banking and settlement infrastructure. And I thought this was just a great post. I really do think XRP and Ripple really compete in the crypto world in a league completely of their own. When it comes down to adoption of cryptocurrency technology, I've said it a million times, I don't think it's going to be me and you setting up a wallet and us replacing Venmo, right? We might send XRP back and forth to one another. big deal. When it comes to actual consumer adoption, most people just don't want to make a wallet. Most people don't want to go trade on a DEX. Most people don't want to do these things. It's complex. And the same was true with the internet in the very early days. No one wanted to interact with the internet's core protocols. What people wanted was tech companies to build utility on the protocols so people could take advantage of them. And that's exactly what Ripple is doing. It's such a simple playbook. It makes so much sense. And I really do believe it's the key to mass adoption of this technology. This is not a front-end technology, it's a back-end technology, and you need people on the front end to adopt the back-end technology so people interacting on the front end don't even know that they're necessarily using cryptocurrency technology on the back end, except all of a sudden they have all these really cool products that were never financially feasible before. That's the important thing about what Ripple and XRP are doing. But there's actually something bigger, in my opinion, that people are starting to catch up on. And that is the fact that the XRP community is one of the strongest communities in all of crypto. Right now, not only do we have Solana talking about XRP, but we also pretty much have every single major exchange and institution literally sending XRP memes, talking about the importance of XRP, talking about how to buy XRP, how to swap in and out of XRP. The entire crypto world is moving towards an XRP world. And why are they doing that? This is one of the things I really want to highlight. The belief in the core participants in the XRP ecosystem blows out any other ecosystem by a mile. And the important thing to realize there is it doesn't matter if Coinbase doesn't like XRP. It doesn't matter if any financial institution doesn't like XRP. Ultimately, people love XRP. There is a huge market demand and interest in XRP. People like utility. People want something real. People want something that makes sense. It's fast and efficient. People want something that's slick and cool, and XRP fits all of that. And people see XRP and it just makes sense to them. It's a United States-centric cryptocurrency, and people tend to like the Ripple team and what they're doing, and it drives serious interest in this technology. Those things cannot be replaced. Those things cannot be stopped. All other financial institutions out there can only adopt their own piece of the XRP ledger to bring those users closer to them. These people have no choice but to like XRP because that's what the market is demanding. It is demanding that they do involve XRP in what they do. The XRP community is the most powerful thing about this entire ecosystem. Without the XRP community, there was no liquidity to bootstrap. Without the XRP community, there was no marketing, there was no interest, there was no reason to build these products. This is the reason these products are so efficient. And the most important thing about the entire XRP ecosystem is the dedicated group of people who are not leaving the XRP ecosystem. Every other blockchain, Sui, Solana, their users are up and out at the next opportunity. Another chain launches really fast, efficient meme coins. I guarantee you Solana loses 75 to 80% of their base. Those things are not true on XRP. And that loyalty, that stickiness is what is driving all of these people to start creating XRP-centric products. Because if they don't, their competition is getting all these users and volume, and they just have to come back internally and say, why are we ignoring this thing that's so obvious? This is what the people want. This is what we need to deliver on. And that right there is something that no project can replicate. No project can just come in and do that. Talk about this all the time. I can build the best blockchain in the world. I'll probably have 0 users. No one cares. No one can compete with the mind share, the branding, the public presence that XRP already has. And those things, that loyalty to the token itself, is something that every single financial institution cannot close their door to. All they can do is open it up, or they risk losing those users. This right here is the fundamental thing that I don't think enough people have appreciated. But it is the thing, in my opinion, that will ultimately lead to XRP global adoption on the speculation side. So not only do you have Ripple building this real world utility, these real functional things that make people interested in XRP, it gets people wanting to interact with XRP. Not only is XRP being used for real things that are tangible, that people can actually say, you know what, this is why crypto is important. But on top of that, there's this huge speculative interest in XRP itself from the retail community. And people always look at speculation as a bad thing. Guys, it is absolutely not a bad thing. It's a phenomenal thing. Look at all the best investments in history. They all had a dedicated group of speculators who saw this end vision for where the technology was going to be and were loyal to talking about that, educating, purchasing, bringing liquidity in, bringing in users, building new applications. These things are absolutely critical to getting that mass adoption and that public mind share. And that is something that XRP does better than any other project out there. And when you combine the institutional side and the real world products with the real demand on the speculation and the interest from retail, you just have this perfect ecosystem. And it's one of those things I always say, look, if you're trying to pick the number one performing asset and swap in and out of assets and be a trader and get in and out of these things, look, maybe you're not best sitting in XRP. But if you see the world changing, if you see us moving to a digital financial system, and you're just trying to position yourself in one of the biggest winners of this entire thing, personally, I don't see how you could possibly go wrong choosing XRP. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. And for now, Mickle out.